Property that did sell, Iman, is number 3, which when we looked through, it looked like it was the staff quarters, valued at about 5 million, but the winning bid taking it at 3 million rand. And I am with auctioneer Clive Lazarus to just talk us through fast moving action as always. Clive, just talk us through then how the 3 properties fared, as well as the movable assets. What asset is going back to the business practitioners?
Well, we started on number 3, as you saw, but number 3 is we presume, the staff quarters for the Gupta residence, and that has the buildings are of much smaller size. So effectively, we presume the person bought that to bash down the entire property, and then obviously will build his own property and paid 3.3 million rand today. He's got demolishing costs, and then he'll build his own property on a beautiful stand. Thereafter, we went to number 5, which is the property of the Gupta, an 8-bed residence with the pool, as you saw, and it didn't come to surprise. And thereafter, number 7. Number 5 and 7 was no surprise to the business rescue practitioners or to the auctioneers of the price realized today. There's been a lot of interest. The properties have been on the market and well advertised for a long period of time. The Guptas left South Africa in 2018, and when they did leave South Africa, they might have had people inside, but the business rescue practitioners or the auctioneers could not gain access into the property, and it's been court case and court case and court case to gain access into the property. Finally, it went to the High Court, then the Supreme Court of Appeal, and then went to the Appellate Division in April this year. That's 2025. The Appellate Division read that we would get access to the property, and we came to the property, and as you can see, since 2018, no money has been spent on the property, and it's in bad state of repair. The business rescue practitioners wanted to be very transparent in terms of the municipal valuation on number 5 being in the upper 20 million rands, and the property at number 7, which we're standing on at this moment in time, the municipal valuation is 36 million rand. So I think we realized in this particular condition and where the property is and the way it's built, these prices in today's economy are not achievable. But we did not want anyone pointing a finger and saying, oh, well, he said to the Gupta situation and they sold it for cheaper. So we've spent a lot of money. We've cleaned the property. We've done everything that can be done to maximize the exposure in terms of realizing the best possible price. There's a stigma relating to the Gupta properties, and a lot of people were pretty scared, and as you saw, the people bidding on the internet, which is a simulcast auction, simultaneous, whilst live bidding took place. I think that we had a lot of interest. For example, we had a plastic surgeon that really wanted to come into this property and say he wanted to do plastic surgery for ladies and maybe a boutique hotel, but noticeably with the rates and taxes at 36,000 rand per month for a residential property, they are really excessive, and that is why a lot of people didn't really bid, because the gentleman, the doctor that wanted the plastic surgery and for ladies to recoup here, he could make it work. But as a residential, an 18-bedroom home doesn't really cater for every single person, and 8-bedroom home, the one next door, and you saw a lot of damp, and a lot of money would need to be spent on the property in order to get it to a nice livable standard.
And Clive, you did give the terms of the sales, that whoever does bid and takes the property won't be responsible for any overdue rates and taxes, but starting off once the registrations are done. What sort of bidders did we see? Do we have an idea of where they come from, or we don't have those details? Are they South Africans? Are they out of the country, the people that put in those bids for both the movable assets as well as the properties? Because I did see number 5, all the movable properties going for 100,000 rand.
That's correct. You did see, but in terms of the POPI Act, we cannot disclose who the purchasers are, and that's why we did it in terms of a simulcast auction, being a live and internet auction simultaneously. As you saw, the property, the bidder who finally won the bid, actually the last 2 competing bids on number 3 required their anonymity, and they bid online, and it was really transparent, and you saw through the TV sets, You saw that the bidder, who he was, well, the number of who he is, but unfortunately we cannot disclose the buyer's details.
Yeah. And what happens next, Clive, for those who have put in their bids and put in their deposits? So, how long is the process then for the property to be in their hands?
So effectively, this offer, the buyer paid 15% deposit as well as the 7% buyer's commission. And the property is sold subject to confirmation for a maximum period of 14 days. Thereafter, the business rescue practitioner either accepts or rejects the property. Should he accept the property, the purchaser has 30 days to produce guarantees. Then he produces guarantees for the purchase price, less what he's paid, of 15%, and thereafter it's transfer duty that he would have to pay the attorneys to take it out of Confident Concepts' name and put it into his existing name.
And just finally from me, Clive, you did say this was a sort of first for you guys, this kind of property, a lot of emotional attachment to it that people are sort of scared while interested in it. What lessons as an auctioneer did you then learn from moving the Gupta properties?
Well, fortunately for Park Village, we've been involved in the Basazas, we've been involved in the high-powered political properties and big liquidations within Southern Africa. But I think this Gupta matter, shed a different light on people. I think people are really frustrated, and they really were not keen on having anything really to do with the Gupta. Left, can I say, it's simply a bad taste in one's mouth.
Well, Clive, thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, Clive Lazarus is the auctioneer here with Park Village Auctioneers. As he did say, two of the properties, the one that was the main Gupta residence, valued at over 21 million rand, going back to the business rescue practitioner. The one that did sell for 3 million, Iman, being the one that we assume is the staff quarters that was valued at about 5 million rand, with rates and taxes of just about 6,000 rand. Clive did clarify that whoever puts in the bid and does finally take over the property, they're not responsible for any owed rates and taxes, but will be taking over then once the registration is due. So a lot of work on all of these properties, really, Iman. The one that we are number 7, rather, a lot of the interest from people looking to rather turn it into a commercial property. As Clive said, plastic surgeons looking to use it as a place of recovery for plastic surgery. But then when considering the rates and taxes that are paid here, over 36,000 rand would make people reconsider, especially when you count the work that still needs to be done on these properties. Iman, we are going to go outside in a bit, where we do have Outer that's protesting. They're saying, yes, while the state is managing to collect some of that money owed to creditors, they want the Guptas back in the country to account for the state's capture that really left the country paralyzed for some years, Iman. So really still wanting them to take accountability for what did happen over that period. But we are going to go down once again. We hadn't covered the full property here at number 7. It is a 3-story building with a lift on each floor, so it's quite sizable, and we didn't manage to get through the entire building. And where we are is the rooftop, where you really get a sight of Johannesburg from all angles. You can see the west, north, and south from up here, and we assume a lot of parties took place at the rooftop here, Iman, but we are going to then go down to hear from people who say they want the Guptas to still come back to the country to account, Iman.